like a couple of benches. Like I didn't know that when you put down a bench you have to tell them to like add a bill, and that tells them to cook shit or make shit and stuff. So I had benches and I'm like, why aren't they doing anything, you know? And that was why, because it was a thing inside the thing that I didn't know was a thing. You know, I thought that was for like maybe trading, because like at least in English language, bills are kind of like, you know, where you might have like, I don't know, an order with somebody and then bill them for it or something. So some of it's not like straight up intuitive, but you can watch like lots of different people play it. It has like learning helpers and shit too, so if you want to learn within the game without going anywhere else, you can do that. Medical treatment on BY, asthma, that's okay. You can also, like I said, you can play with mods, you can play with DLC, stuff like that. Like this is core game, I only have like 6 mods. 2 of them make the mods work, 1 of the mods doesn't work, so I basically have got like 3 essentially. And I don't have any of the DLCs or anything, so this is like an extreme example of what the core game can do. This is not a normal RimWorld game. But if you want to get creative with like the shapes of your buildings, you can. If you want to get pretty with like fucking floor designs and shit, or furniture colors, or like patterns and stuff. Like for instance, that was our first location. Everybody seems to like the fractals of like the down the bottom diamond, where that was everybody's like bedrooms and shit, you know? Whereas like that was our last place, where you can see I've taken a few design elements and pulled them forwards and stuff. So I mean, you could get really creative. There's lots of different like places that you can build. There's a lot of different, like there's, hold on, if I move over, there's like temperatures, there's like annual cycles of months and seasons and stuff like that. So sometimes like, you know, if you start into a place and you're high enough on the equator or low enough on the equator or something, you'll get snow. Or maybe you'll get like a permanent snow map or something, and that's really hard. Or like a permanent summer, if you're not ready for it and you don't know how to like get the air conditioners, passive coolers, you'll be having people having mental breaks all the time, you know? So yeah. Also, I don't know why you guys keep telling me to like delete comments. It's like, it's not about that. It's just like, try not to say the comments, please. Anyway, Falcon's out here. He's getting some stuff like grown and shit. Before you go off, actually, no, go consume a simple meal, because I don't want you having a tantrum out here if I could. What else? If you're playing it on Windows and stuff like that, you should be fine. I don't know if it runs on Linux. I think it does, because I do know an individual that is running Linux, and as far as I know, they play it, so it should be playable. But I don't know if there's any like issues with mods for that. Who knows? So there's a thing called, yeah, no, don't bring that shit, those conversations in here. Yeah, hold up. There we go. Let's see. So I think it's amazing you have such a massive colony. Thank you. I don't know, this is more of a, it's been going for a while. So like this is a colony that's been running for like over 3 years at this point. So yeah, mine's not a really good example of what what a normal RimWorld looks like, you know. So like the first location we had like 180 something colonists. The second location, I don't know, it was like 200 and something. I can't remember off the top of my head. The third location, it was like 280 again, something like that. And here we're at like 304 as of just bringing home Irina tonight. So yeah, like I've had more. It does actually say I've had 80 colonists die so far in this colony. So I have had 80 more colonists out of interest. I also I don't want them to double harvest everything, but there are berries outside I want them to get. Obviously, I'm also playing this without any like performance mods or anything like that. Obviously, most people will not get to this scale of colonists in a general sort of sitting playthrough kind of thing, but if you do, you can obviously like add performance mods and shit like that to like make it run a bit better and stuff. I'm testing what core game can do, so yeah, it's more of like see how that goes kind of thing. See like what kind of like crumples it and stuff. Honestly, rain, plant sway, and having stuff out in the middle of the field is absolutely like will crunch my game kind of thing. But I mean, at this point, I also have hundreds of animals as well as hundreds of colonists. Every single colonist has got a lifetime of social for like hundreds of other colonists, because I don't delete that either. And then all the animals and stuff, like if I go find Bubba, oh, hold on, that one's gotta die. We don't keep orange horses here. Bubba, let's see, where are you? Your social... See, he has this massive list of whatever he's like interacted with. Like he's had siblings, daughters, granddaughters who are also his great granddaughters that are technically multiple things at a time because like they've downbred with like relatives and shit at some point, the animals. So that shit gets convoluted, but they all have history and crap too. Also, like, I don't keep any orange horses in here. This is why we have the orange horse emote, because I had one that was called Avalon, and Avalon basically got like dementia or Alzheimer's or something like that, and every single time I went to go on a caravan, he had like a mental break, so my caravan couldn't actually fucking leave, and because of that, we'd have the animals would go, like, the animal would have a mental break, and then my colonist would have a mental break, and then would never actually fucking leave. So I just stopped keeping orange horses, especially since it's like, oh, he was bonded to somebody, and I'm like, you know what? If what do you call it? If he happens to like pass away naturally, because like a horse is gonna die eventually, right? Anyway, I've never had anything in my colony die of a natural aged out death. So I don't know how long shit lives for, because apparently like real world horses can live to like easily into their 40s and shit. And I'm like, some of the horses in here, like I don't actually know any of them are really old. What? Let's go have a quick look. Actually, hold on, let me put age is the highest thing I want in here. So I don't think I'm gonna have any hugely old horses, because I think we cull them pretty frequently. We got a 3-year-old mare. That's the oldest horse I've got at the moment, and I don't think it tells me how long they live. But anyway, like I have got Xena's like a 24-year-old cat, Drooly's like an 88-year-old Thrumbo, stuff like that. Like some of this shit will live a while. Like Bubba's also 21. Chipper's like 13 now and stuff. Like some of these are all like originals and stuff. Let's put you guys back. I think I was putting yours on, I think that order. That looks right. Yes. Okay, that's right. You also don't have to keep animals if you don't really want to. You can just hunt animals. The only problem I've got is at this scale, I don't really get much animals. If you guys notice, I only get about like 3 or so animals like walk in, and they're usually small. So I don't actually get like a lot of food hunting animals out here very often, which kind of is something. Ram, I thought you were doing something with the... Yeah, you do plants. When you're done resting, I'll get you back out into this area, because I've got like crab out here as well. And I've got to get somebody to haul some shit in a minute. So I'll get you... I know, I got him to accidentally haul that because, I don't know, it did a thing. So we'll see. Yeah, I need them to bring it inside. I've been leaving this side of the map pretty well alone because the animals mostly wake up and eat over here. So, for instance, they sleep here. They sleep here on this particular section, right? So what they do is they come running out of here. They eat all down here first. So as you can see, there's like nothing growing back here. They eat all this shit. And by the look of it, they're not quite getting up here, but there are a couple beds up here. So they're eating this part. The reason why I've left this alone is because it leaves me this whole half of the map to harvest this shit, but I've been in this shit for like a month at this point, so I'm kind of like just letting them like pick up shit wherever at this point. How do you avoid insect attack? You pick areas without mountains. I welcome insect attacks. Like, infestations are just the fucking best, because like, for instance, we had it up in here. As you can see, we had like a pretty sizable attack through this area a while ago. It was in like several rooms and stuff. I welcome it because it's free meat. Like, I don't love that they did it inside, but I think they did it inside because this was under rock, it was under mountain. So I think that's why that came up where it was. I also was doing a lot of drilling out here, but I'm doing drilling up here at the moment. But like, I don't generally pick places with mountains because, as you can see, I kind of need grow areas for the size of my colony and stuff, so it can't be underground. And when I had the beach location, when I was at our last place, Dryden, you see how we had like the beach and the sand? I couldn't grow on that, and I couldn't connect pens up to it neatly. So I couldn't also have my animals out there either. So that was just wasted chunk of the map that I couldn't use. Like, I probably could have like lightly built on something. We got 81 people have got sick with what? The plague? All right, that's probably fine. We'll see what happens with that. I'll probably have to save that as... I've got Asora 2, still a neat, clean one at the moment. So let's bring in the Asora T as an alternate. So I'll leave Asora 2 alone for a moment, because if an original colonist dies from that, I kind of can't have that because I can't resurrect them. You're going to need to go fix them. I know German was coming down to pick them up and stuff, but this is fine. Where's the other guy? Gura, Dross, can you rescue them? I know Panther's coming in, but this is fine. Go rescue them. Alright. And the main thing is we still have a shit ton of food at the moment, which is good. How are we going with food? We have like 300 out of pemmican, which is good. We've still got like 4,000 potatoes, and we got 3,900 odd simple meals, 400 packaged survival meals. We're creeping up. We just don't have a lot of meat, which is fine because I know that we can make simple meals out of like fully vegetarian or fully meat products. So it really just depends on what we have available, and they will use it and make it. But I am expecting that all of my hospitals are going to be really full up. Let's see, we got Nick. Nick's an original. Hey, Gilon, I see you ultra lurking, peeking, looking around. I see it. So Nick's in hospital. Chimpanzee, are you not the original? Kit Kat, you're in hospital. You got the plague. I hope you know that. I'm not seeing anybody else in here yet. And the third hospital. Okay, only Nick is in hospital again. Nick's a bit of a problem for when they're in hospital because they don't seem to get better, and they're also a picky eater, so they won't always eat what they're given. Night owl and daytime, they're also going to have a fucking tantrum about that, which means they'll probably get up at some point. But they think it's a gorgeous environment, so that's nice. Now, if I could just grab somebody when you're done, can I get you and go maybe to just clean the hospital when you're done harvesting that? I'll get a couple of people available, like Lumi. I'll get you back down here to clean this. This is considered a barracks because I've got like 3 people that can't medically tend on their own in here, sleeping. So that sounds about right. Well, yeah, basically at this point, like a manhunter attack or an infestation would be incredibly welcome in my eyes because, yeah, I could do with more food. And they're not really a problem. Like, I have got a shit ton of turrets. Not as many as we had at Dryden, but we've got turrets. I am also installing, not that I've made them all yet, but I am installing, EMP traps for the inside of the area, which means we're more likely to get mechs and infestations and stuff land in these walls. Manhunters will probably just like break through shit. But, yeah. we'll be right. And I've still got like 8,500 odd wood to be able to sell for food, so I just gotta find people that don't have the plague, since 85 of my colonists are gonna be down for it. Johnson's in a major break risk. He's in the caravan, so actually that's a good point. Did you guys, any of you guys get that? He was the only one that was having a fit about it. No, he doesn't look like he's got it. They do have malnutrition, because I don't think we got food, because we were supposed to hunt for shit, and nobody's trading with us. You've got a little over a day to get home, and their malnutrition is trivial, so when they get home, they're going to be starving. Honest Ival, Kit, wondering, have you got the plague? No? You can't do plants. That's fine, but you can do medical, so you're about to have like all kinds of medical shit to be doing. I have a lot of like colonists that can do medical stuff, so it's not like that's a problem. Who's in the area? Crow, Congo, Fedrin, Chalky Stars, Camel, no, Frogs? You could do stuff. I'll get you out here. Oh no, you can't do this, you must be animals then. The hell was that? I heard something go kaboom. Ah, here we are. Somebody's out here culling the boomalopes that are breeding. That's fine. I found green. So when you're done doing that, let's get you maybe down into this area if it's available. The moment I started feeling better after bullshit virus I caught, I found out that I now have mold in my lungs. Oh yeah. My mum had that after we went through a flood, and we all had to take shit for it. Have you got the stuff that's in like, I don't know if you get this where you are, but have you got the stuff in like the eyedropper where you're supposed to like gargle it and it fizzes and shit in your throat? Or have you got more of like a vapor kind of, what do you call it, respirator type thing to get like vapors down into your lungs? Because, yeah, where I live isn't specifically in like a flood zone, but where I worked at one point was in a flood zone. And we continued to do like work and stuff after a flood. We didn't know the, resounding biohazards of not completely ripping apart the place after a flood, How long is this colony? What do you mean, how long is this colony? This colony's been running for over 3 years. So if that's what your legitimate question is, if you question's more like how many colonists, it's 304. We took somebody earlier. We had a rescue quest and it went pretty well, so yeah. But no, this one's been going since the 7th of March 2023, so it's been going for a while, What's a workman? Is it Queen Val? I don't know, I probably butchered shit, but yeah, workman. Here's one of those respirators. Oh, yeah. I can't remember how long we had to take it for. I think it was like a couple of weeks to a month or something like that. And we had to drink like only boiled water and all sorts of shit and stuff to like increase our like chances and crap. But like, I hope, like if that's what you're going through at the moment, I hope you like get better soon. Because yeah, that's not fun. But it is something that's treatable. You will feel like considerably better every each day. After like, it starts to work and stuff, So it's very rare to come across somebody else that's been through that. So I guess, don't you fucking rotok hit Keelon. I don't know. It sucks. But yeah, it's very uncommon to like come across it, honestly. Holy moly. Yeah. No medicine, hot tea, and rest. I don't know how well you go treating inside your lungs with that, but fucking hell, I hope you get better. I don't know alternate treatments for like lung mold. Like I didn't even know that like you could grow mold within the human body, like inside your organs and shit to begin with until I went through that flood. But I would not want to be trying to do it without medicine, but I also have like a shit immune system, so I probably just wouldn't recover, essentially. The Portsmouth fall asleep. Oh, hey Viking, what are you doing? Sleeping away? I saw you in here earlier. I know you're asleep. but I'll give you some soothing pats. Must have fallen asleep when I didn't notice. So far the mold's losing. Well, that's good. That is good to hear. It's good to hear you're getting better and stuff, you know. So your colonist name is Green. It summoned me from, was it YouTube algorithm? Lol. I mean, I do have colonist Green. I don't rename anybody, but if I happen to get like members of my community and stuff that happen to have the same name and stuff, like I'm more than happy enough to associate that colonist with them. For instance, we have Grim for Grim, Tyran for Tyrantha. Bombay is Eternal Dipsy's name and game character. We've got them. I've got Lee for Lee. Mitsu for obviously Mitsu and stuff. So I've got quite a lot. I've also got like Kit Kat for Kit Kat Keelon. I also have Kit and Kat independently in the colony. I have a Ray Wolfen for Viken, but I also have Crook, which is an actual Arctic wolf for Viken as well, which I do believe that they're still in here somewhere. I know you're still alive. I just don't know where in the pile you are. Somewhere. I may have to, by names, maybe. Hold on. Where's my Arctic wolf situation? Can't be that far down. I might have missed it because it's just like, it's a bright white colored wolf. And I don't always, like, my eyes don't always lock on to like the pure white creatures. There we go. Hold on a second. It's saying we have 0. Wait a fucking second. When did you die? Oh, that's right. You fucking died in that horrid mech battle we had. That's why you went back to being Ray Wolfen. We don't have the Arctic wolf anymore. I am. That sucks. It was one of those I like momentarily forgot. But we still have Ray Wolfen as a backup. We're just going to get another wolf at some point. I can't take on like an independent normal looking wolf. Because if I do, I won't recognize that I have a predator hunting shit in my map. This is also a rare chance where I've got like a whole heap of fucking food animals come in. Most of my gunners are out at the base, but they'll be down here soon to be hunting these because the few people I've got in this colony that have got guns, look, Clompster's already here. Already doing it, you know? So, not that the trees and rain are making the visibility any easier for Clompster, but, you know. Is your colony wealth? How do you manage wealth in such a large colony? So I'm trying to make them wealthier at the moment. We are at, hold on. Was that like, I think it's 20, hold on. I think that's 2 million, nearly 2.5 million, give or take. Might be more, actually. Fuck it, who knows? Anyway, it's a lot, but I'm also putting like gold and shit around the place, and I'm trying to put like gold. There's gold underneath these. There's a lot of gold in the kitchen, underneath all these corner benches, underneath all these corner things. I'm intentionally trying to make it wealthier. I don't try to like keep it down, you know. Hey Zo, how you doing? Was it 2.5 million? What's the story behind the huge wealth drop in the middle there? You talking about this particular spot? So this is when we moved from our first colony, right? That was Salvation. When we moved, I had that location, which I completely deconstructed down to like a very small rectangle up near like this sort of end, right? There was a very small rectangle that we left that all my people, like the remaining cooks and stuff, stayed until the end while I built up the new location, right? When we moved to this location, which is when we had this, right? This is when we moved in to the next one. So this is us like deconstructing while constructing the next place. So I moved into this place, and the 1.5 or whatever came out, the version updated to 1.5, and it broke my tile. We didn't get to finish building this place. I just culled off a shit ton of animals. So we had like almost nobody to move anything. And I didn't know that because of the update, my game now had glitches where my caravan was unpacking itself as it was packing itself. So we had to emergency evacuate that place almost as soon as we moved in, and we like left like over 10,000 like steel as like a singular resource. We had left most of what we brought over behind. So we also, when we moved out of that first location, one of my cooks, Grasshopper, went psychotic and murdered several people. So I lost a lot of my cooks when we moved as well. And we had a lot of trouble trying to get the fuck out of there because he was going berserk, killing anybody that was trying to leave. So he didn't like that we moved. And then we lost a lot of shit. And then when we moved into Dryden, which is about here somewhere here, I think there. That's when we moved into Dryden, which is this one. But we moved into there without any food. And it was about to go to winter. And I moved in an entire colony with also like 28 prisoners or something like that, 28 prisoners and shit. And yeah, it didn't go so well because everybody was starving, everybody was weary from traveling, everybody was recreationally starved, everybody fucking hated the place because they were sleeping outdoors on the ground, it was getting cold. And yeah, somebody went and kicked the one and only, geothermal generator that we had that happened to be powering the grow rooms that was supposed to keep us alive during winter, and we nearly died there. So we had like a near colony ending event when we moved into our last location. It took us like a year and a bit to stabilize before we started looking at moving. That's when we started looking at moving, which was probably several months ago now, because I didn't deconstruct everything at the last location. I left a lot, but I sent a lot via transport pods. So I was building up this place about the same time as I was kind of pulling that place apart. So we moved in with a lot more stuff. I also had like an auto cull limit on the animals and shit. So when we moved in, and they merged together, they auto culled back to the amount of animals we were supposed to have and stuff. So that helped a little bit. But then we got 2 winters in a row that snowed, and we got, we got 2 cold snaps in spring that just about nearly also tanked this colony as well. So that's what I'm trying to actively recover from at the moment. Is I have, as best I can, balanced out how many animals we have. Some of them are currently out in the caravan. We have more colonists than I've ever had before at 304. And I have to use basically all this external area as grow space because the animals need it as much as I do. But I've also had to use the inside areas of like workspace rooms, as you can see, to also build more like fucking hydroponics and stuff. I've also had to get creative with putting fencing on the outside of the building so the animals can't get in when they're hungry to just go fucking eat. Like I can't put one here, so this is at risk of them eating it, and possibly that one too if this is open. But yeah, that stopped the animals from going in and just helping themselves when they're starving, because in the previous location they'd just open a door to like a crop room and just go ham whenever they were starving and shit. So now if we have a situation where the animals are starting to starve, I do try to go through and I try to cull them off if they're already downed, because I know that's going to require medicine and food to attend to them. And my people, we don't really have a lot of like spare food. So the problem that I've got them doing is that they want to feed the animals like meals, proper full fucking meals. And that's wasting food that we actually need to stay alive. So and that was a bit of a problem as well. I'll get some people in here to do a bit of cleaning too. Instead of cooking your meals, can I get you in here to clean? They've only just brought in these like nutrient paste things that's kind of helping. And I haven't really used these before, so I wasn't really sure how this shit worked. And my only concern is, since this is not really a refrigerated area, like the piles of food that can stack pretty big could expire. But the thing is, I'm also keeping it cold, but that's giving a cold penalty to all the benches, so that's not great. And when it gets to winter, there'll be hypothermia, so I'll have to up the heat in here, which will possibly lead to shit expiring, which is why I'm trying to make things like packaged survival meals and shit, which can go and store over here, but certain animals are able to haul. Like, I have a lot of trained animals that can do hauling. So if I put this onto hauling, we have all of these animals that do hauling, right? So a lot of them allowed to go into all sorts of different places so that they can just access this shit and carry stuff around, so my colonists don't have to waste time hauling. The only problem with that is that sometimes I'll find like a thrumbo or something in here snacking on a meal, or a cat in here snacking on a meal or something. And I can't kind of stop that from happening. The only thing I can do is try to balance out how many like meat eaters and shit I've got, and try to make sure that there's other stuff on the ground that the animals might want to go and eat, you know, like this sort